Hollywood's golden couple, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, are used to making headlines for red carpet glamour, blockbuster movies, and clever marketing wins. But this time, the spotlight is blinding for all the wrong reasons. Because right now, as we speak, a legal storm is brewing that could shatter one of Ryan Reynolds' biggest business moves. And it's not a tabloid rumor. It's a federal lawsuit, filed in a U.S. court. With accusations so serious, if they hold up, they could destroy the very foundation of the company he's tied his marketing reputation to. This is Sophia with Inside Hollywood Couples, where we dig past the glossy magazine covers and find the real stories hiding underneath. If you want the truth behind celebrity business empires, the wins, the losses, and the scandals they'd rather you didn't know, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and tell me in the comments what you think is really going on here. Here's the headline you're not hearing on the entertainment sites. Ryan Reynolds' ad tech company partner, MNTN Inc., is being accused by tech giant IntentIQ of willfully stealing patented technology, the very kind that powers modern online advertising. And the timing? The lawsuit landed right as MNTN was going public. Let's be clear. This isn't a small disagreement over a marketing slogan. These are patents that took years to develop, tested in court, and defended against some of the biggest names in tech: Amazon, Meta, Microsoft. IntentIQ claims MNTN didn't just take inspiration. They claim MNTN copied the blueprint and sold it as their own, knowing full well it wasn't theirs to use. If these allegations are true, we're looking at more than just bad press. We're talking about a direct hit to Reynolds' public image as a marketing genius, a major threat to investor confidence, and potentially a total shutdown of MNTN's core product. And for a couple who've built an empire on image, timing, and influence, this might be the first crack the public can actually see. To understand why this lawsuit is so explosive, you need to know exactly who's on each side and why their names carry so much weight in both tech and entertainment circles. On one side, we have MNTN Inc., an ad tech company Ryan Reynolds has proudly aligned himself with. If you've ever seen those cheeky, self-aware ads for Aviation Gin, Mint Mobile, or his other ventures, you've witnessed the Ryan Reynolds effect, a marketing approach built on wit, virality, and precise audience targeting. MNTN's pitch to advertisers has been simple. We can get your message to the right people at the right time with unmatched accuracy. Ryan didn't just endorse them. He became their face, starring in campaigns, producing content, and weaving MNTN into the story of his own business success. On the other side is IntentIQ, a name most people outside of advertising might not recognize. But inside the industry, they're known as a heavyweight. This is a company with decades of experience in the science of online audience tracking. They hold a portfolio of patents so valuable, they've taken on tech titans like Amazon, Meta, and Microsoft, and won major legal victories. At the center of this fight are two specific patents, highly technical but crucial pieces of intellectual property that allow advertisers to track and target consumers across multiple devices without relying on cookies. In plain English, it's the secret sauce that makes sure the ad for those shoes you looked at once follows you from your laptop to your phone to your smart TV. According to IntentIQ, MNTN didn't develop this tech themselves. Instead, they allege MNTN lifted key patented methods IntentIQ spent years perfecting, and built them directly into their own products. And here's where it gets even more serious. IntentIQ isn't just saying this was accidental. They're accusing MNTN of willful infringement, meaning MNTN allegedly knew they were using stolen intellectual property and did it anyway. Why does this matter so much? Because if a court agrees, damages could be massive, potentially tripled under U.S. patent law, and MNTN could be banned from using the technology entirely. And if that happens, Ryan Reynolds' golden marketing machine may suddenly find itself without the very engine that made it run. When you actually read through the lawsuit, and yes, we went through every page, it becomes clear this isn't just a vague, "you copied us" accusation. This is a surgical breakdown of how, according to IntentIQ, MNTN replicated their technology step by step. First, the complaint points to patent number 8 and patent number 10. 2 pieces of intellectual property. Intent Y. Q says form the backbone of its cross-device identification system. The patents describe a process where a user's behavior on one device, say, a laptop, is connected to their activity on another, like a smartphone, without relying on old-school browser cookies. In the lawsuit, Intent IQ draws side-by-side comparisons between their patented process and MNTN's advertising platform, and those comparisons are damning, at least on paper. They claim MNTN's software performs the same data collection, uses the same matching techniques, and even outputs results in an identical format. The language Intent IQ uses is deliberate and sharp. Over and over, they allege that MNTN's cross-device graph is substantially identical to Intent IQ's patented system. They also claim internal documents, public statements, and product demonstrations prove MNTN knew exactly what they were doing. One of the most explosive parts? The willful infringement claim. That's legal speak for, you didn't just accidentally wander into our territory, you knew it was ours and took it anyway. Under U.S. law, willful infringement can mean triple damages. So if Intent IQ wins, the financial fallout for MNTN could be catastrophic. And here's where Ryan Reynolds' name starts popping up in court documents. While he isn't personally accused of engineering the tech, his image and persona have been deeply intertwined with MNTN's branding. Intent IQ argues that Reynolds' high-profile involvement has helped MNTN secure massive clients they say were wooed by technology that wasn't legally theirs to sell in the first place. For Reynolds, that's the reputational danger zone. He's built his personal brand on being the clever, self-aware businessman who wins by outsmarting the competition. If it turns out his latest marketing partner was cutting corners with someone else's inventions, the genius businessman narrative could start to crumble. By the time you finish reading Intent IQ's complaint, you realize this case isn't just about 2 companies fighting over code. It's about who owns the future of online advertising, and whether one of Hollywood's most beloved personalities is standing on a foundation built from stolen blueprints. If Intent IQ's allegations hold up in court, the consequences for MNTN, and by extension Ryan Reynolds, could be severe. This isn't a slap-on-the-wrist situation. We're talking about penalties that could reshape, or even sink, parts of the business. Legally, U.S. patent law has teeth. If a judge rules that MNTN infringed on Intent IQ's patents, they could be ordered to pay not just damages, but triple the damages if the infringement is found to be willful. In tech cases, those numbers can run into the tens, even hundreds of millions of dollars. And it's not just about money. The court could issue an injunction, essentially banning MNTN from using the disputed technology at all. Without it, their entire product offering could be crippled. Financially, that kind of hit would ripple outward fast. MNTN's valuation could plummet. Investors, many of whom bought in because of Reynolds' celebrity backing, might run for the exits. Big clients who signed on expecting a cutting-edge proprietary platform could walk away overnight, afraid of being caught up in a scandal themselves. And personally, Ryan Reynolds is in a precarious position. Technically, he's not the one being sued, but his face, voice, and name have been central to MNTN's rise. Every ad, every promo, every behind-the-scenes story frames him not just as a pitchman, but as a visionary partner. If MNTN loses badly, the court of public opinion might not care about the fine print of corporate liability. They'll see Reynolds as someone who attached himself to, and profited from, a product accused of being built on stolen work. For a man whose brand relies heavily on trust, wit, and the image of doing business the clever but clean way, that's dangerous territory. Endorsement deals, future ventures, even public goodwill could take a hit. In Hollywood and business alike, reputation is currency, and lawsuits like this can drain it faster than any box office flop. There's also the industry-wide implication. If Intent IQ wins, it could send shockwaves through the ad tech world, forcing other companies to re-examine their own cross-device tracking methods for potential patent conflicts. Competitors could find themselves in similar legal crosshairs. And the rules of digital marketing, could shift overnight. So yes, the stakes here go far beyond one company or one celebrity. What happens in this courtroom could reshape how ads are targeted, how tech patents are enforced, and how much risk celebrities are willing to take when tying their names to ambitious startups. Step back for a moment, and this lawsuit is more than just Intent IQ versus MNTN. It's a warning shot across the bow of the entire celebrity business ecosystem. In the last decade, we've seen Hollywood stars move far beyond endorsements. They're not just holding a product for a photo shoot anymore. They're taking equity stakes, joining boards, and becoming the public face of ambitious startups. Ryan Reynolds is perhaps the poster child for this new era. Mint Mobile, Aviation Gin, Wrexham AFC, and of course, MNTN. His approach has been hailed as the gold standard for turning fame into long-term business success. But here's the catch. When celebrities integrate themselves this deeply, they're also tying their reputations directly to the company's ethics and practices. If a brand gets hit with allegations of fraud, theft, or shady dealings, that tarnish doesn't stay confined to the company logo. It seeps into the personal brand of the celebrity attached to it. And that's the scenario we're staring at now. If Intent IQ's claims gain traction, it could make stars think twice before cozying up to tech firms, especially in the fast-moving, opaque world of advertising technology, where proprietary algorithms and trade secrets are the lifeblood of competition. The more complex the tech, the harder it is for outsiders, even high-profile partners, to know if it's truly original or walking too close to someone else's patents. The ripple effects could be huge. For ad tech companies, they might face greater scrutiny from celebrity investors who will demand deeper due diligence before lending their name. For celebrities, endorsements and equity partnerships could come with new contractual safeguards, clauses allowing them to distance themselves quickly if legal trouble surfaces. For consumers, public trust in both the product and the star promoting it could erode faster than ever if suspicions of misconduct emerge. In a way, this case is a stress test for the entire celebrity CEO model. The media loves the story of a successful actor reinventing himself as a savvy business mogul. But when that business model intersects with complex, litigious industries, the stakes become very real, and the damage to one's image can't be solved with a clever ad campaign. As the case moves forward, two narratives will be battling it out in the public eye. One of a visionary company unfairly attacked by a competitor, and another of a Hollywood golden boy whose business empire may not be as clean as it looks. One thing is certain. The outcome will be studied closely by anyone blending celebrity and tech entrepreneurship. Because if Ryan Reynolds can get caught in the crossfire, anyone can. Court cases like this can drag on for months, even years. Motions will be filed. Lawyers will spar over definitions. Expert witnesses will debate the technicalities of cross-device tracking. The legal verdict, when it finally comes, will matter enormously to MNTN, Intent IQ, and the investors watching from the sidelines. But in the meantime, there's another verdict being handed down, not in a courtroom, but in the court of public opinion. And that one moves a lot faster. Ryan Reynolds has built a rare type of celebrity business brand, equal parts charm, self-awareness, and apparent integrity. People don't just buy what he's selling, they buy into him. They believe he's clever but decent, competitive but ethical. It's a brand that feels personal, almost immune to the cynicism that surrounds most celebrity endorsements. That's exactly why this lawsuit is so dangerous. Even if MNTN ultimately wins in court, the mere fact that these allegations are out there can plant seeds of doubt. In a marketplace where trust is fragile and headlines move faster than facts, perception can become reality overnight. If Reynolds is smart, and he is, he's already thinking about how to manage the optics. Will he double down and publicly defend MNTN, risking deeper association if they lose? Or will he take a step back, subtly repositioning himself to protect the rest of his empire? Either path carries risk. For Intent IQ, the stakes are equally high. Winning could mean a huge payout, industry recognition, and a precedent-setting victory for patent enforcement in the ad tech space. Losing could brand them as an opportunistic challenger who failed to make their case. For the rest of us watching, the story is more than corporate drama. It's a reminder that in the age of celebrity entrepreneurship, fame is both an asset and a liability. The bigger your brand, the more carefully you need to guard it. Because in business, as in Hollywood, the audience is always watching, and every act counts. The final twist? In a lawsuit like this, the legal verdict isn't always the one that shapes the future. The public's verdict, whispered in conversations, debated on